The king was furious. He shouted at his wise men for allowing Maru to live. They trembled. To oppose Maru is to go against the gods. We dare not oppose her, they said. Suddenly, from the shadows, Maru emerged. I have come for my 2 cows. Your son has yet to honor our agreement. The king stunned retorted, and if he doesn't, said the king, then I will have his head, replied Maru calmly. Do you know that I am your king, chosen by the gods? You owe me respect, said the king angrily. Your son made a vow, and no one breaks such a vow with me. Leave, the king shouted. The guards escorted Maru out, and she didn't resist. The next day the king was addressing the assembly, and kings beyond. Maru appeared, holding Luozi's head. The king stood frozen, unable to move or speak, as Maru lifted Luozi's head up. Blood dripping. His son's betrayal, his defiance of the pact, had led to this moment. The king's eyes darted across the silent assembly, watching their faces twist in horror, a mixture of fear and awe at what had just transpired. Mera's presence was like a storm, unyielding and unstoppable. She looked directly at the king. Her expression calm, but her eyes held a depth of ancient power, something that no mortal could make sense of. You dared to challenge me, king, she said, her voice soft, yet carrying a weight that seemed to crush the very air around them. Your son broke a vow to me. A vow that cannot be ignored. Now, his consequences are paid, and your kingdom will know what it means to disrespect the forces beyond your control. The king felt the coldness of reality sinking in, the walls of his power crumbling around him. His anger flared, but it was weaker now, drowned in the realization of his helplessness. He was no longer the chosen king, the one who held dominion over life and death. Maru had shattered that illusion. He was merely a man, standing before an unstoppable force. The crowd stood in silence, the weight of the moment pressing down on them. Whispers of fear and admiration rippled through the assembly, as they too realized what the king had failed to understand. This was not just a reckoning. This was a rebirth, a shift in the world as they knew it. Maru had come, not just for her cows, but as an announcement of something greater. Something beyond their understanding. She was the embodiment of a power they could neither see nor touch, a power that had always been lacking, waiting for its moment to rise. The king knew then that he had made a grave mistake. The gods may have chosen him, but it was Maru who had been chosen by something older, something far more powerful.